Hi, this is Big J Nelson from Poetry Thieves, and you're watching Good Company. Please join me.
Good company!
Hey guys, my name's Scott Bowling, and you're watching Good Company. Today we have the man, Jaye Nelson.
Hey, Scott. How
Hey
you doing,
man,
brother?
how you doing, man?
It's a pleasure to be here.
Jaye Nelson is the singer of Poetry Thieves. So how long you guys been around for now?
Poetry Thieves, as a project, has been 3 years. To be quite honest, it's kind of like Amy Lee with Evanescence, you know. Just to be honest. I'm Poetry Thieves, you know, the constant.
Right.
I'm the constant denominator. But in the studio, we had a lot of great people from Morgan Rose on drums.
Oh, he played with you guys on drums?
Yeah, Corey Lowry co-produced, played bass, co-wrote with me.
How'd you hook up with these guys? I mean, these are.
I grew up. We all grew up together.
Oh wow.
Back when they were called Crawl
Space.
Space. Yeah, we were all playing around Atlanta at Toad's Place with the Rec Room and Masquerades, and everybody was just scratching and clawing. We were all recording at Lynn's Wet Basement Studios, where Rusty Cobb, who was the engineer, you know, and he. So we all, everybody has blown up too. It's amazing, you know, to watch all my friends. I remember when Stuck Mojo were going to get, you know, to do their demo, and now, you know, the godfathers of rap metal. There's this kid called Hiro the Hero. We were talking on Instagram. I said, man, you remind me of Bones. And he said, who? And I was like, you know, you don't know Bones from Stuck Mojo? You're doing rap metal. He didn't, and I said, well, you know, just look him up. And I don't really blame him, but I see a lot of people he's playing around, they know, and nobody, if I'm the first person to say that to him, that's a damn shame, but, you know, I don't point fingers. But yeah, so I know these guys from just growing up in Atlanta, you know, clawing it out. And not only them, I was everywhere. So I know Sean Mullins and Zach Brown and John Mayers. You know, because I was in Buckhead. I would play, you know, the metal scene, the heart scene, the singer-songwriter scene.
Versatile, is he? Different styles.
And I think that came from just being around. At the time, I was already, you know, of course, I was raised by Little Richard virtually, so I was already around such a plethora of music that I never felt like I had to just be one particular place.
When you say Little Richard, how did you hook up with Little Richard? That's a story.
Yeah, it came from just following my dreams, and me and some friends went to Hollywood looking for that shot, and you might have heard the story before with the whole hello down there thing, and can we have an autograph? Open the door, we sing and dance right then and there on the spot, remembering that's why we were even in Hollywood. And forget the autograph, man, we gotta sing for this cat. And yeah, and it worked out.
So you guys were just in the same spot as he was. That's like a God thing.
It is. And
yeah.
So there was a lot of prayer involved too, Scott. We got to, before we went, I said, let's go to the mall. There was always this travel agent place, didn't need it. I was from the hood, you know, wasn't going on vacation. But when it was time that we decided we were going to go to Hollywood, I said, yeah, we can go in this place. That movie Colors had just came out.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of made us aware that it could be very dangerous in California, in LA. And so I said, let's go here, let's book 2 or 3 nights somewhere safe. And then we'll get the lay of the land, and then we'll get us a hotel for
smart.
the long haul. But let's make sure this lady or this company can put us somewhere cool, you know, so that we're safe. And she did that. And I'll tell you, first of all, later on in my career, I stayed in that hotel many times as when we were booked in LA. But long story short, the first day we got there, we went out for a walk. Took a walk, went left. 2 blocks later, we see the Beverly Hills sign. Mind blowing. I mean, houses like yours. Had to take that deal.
Ah, that's good. I
This
like
is a
it.
beautiful
Yeah,
place.
yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, just alleys the size of the streets we come from.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah, we were very, very
First
young.
time leaving home, kind of.
First time leaving home. Yeah, and the day I had to leave, my mother wasn't home. I had to write a letter and put it on her mirror. It was really, this Dear John thing. She knew I was going, but she didn't. I didn't know what time. And when we finally bought the tickets, she was away, and so I just had to leave a message. It was really crazy, but it was a growing moment, and yeah, so we went left. We saw mansions and things that blew our mind. We were supposed to call back home for this guy who was our sponsor that was going to help us rent a car or whatever. And I said, man, forget that. He don't even have any money.
Yeah.
I just saw something that, because one of the guys didn't go, my buddy Scott. And I said, we're not calling this guy. We're not beeping him. He can't help us. We need God. I just saw houses the size of, you wouldn't believe it, limousines, Rolls Royce. We need God.
Yeah.
And he was still on the phone, snatched the phone, hung it up. We need God. And so we went down on our knees in prayer.
Wow.
And the next day we got up and said, well, we went left yesterday, we'll go right today. We know it's that way. You should have went. You would have saw the beautiful mansion. But it's got to be good stuff this way. If 2 blocks, So we go right 2 blocks. We're at a red light, waiting across the street, and we hear, hello down there. We look up, and it's little Richard. And to know him, he would never go on that balcony because he's so afraid of earthquakes.
Wow.
And that's why he lived on the 3rd floor, which is why we could hear him. It was the 1st floor where the room started. And he lived there for 30 years. It was his home. He lived at they call it the Hyatt House. It was the legendary Sunset a Hyatt on Sunset.
That's interesting that he's scared of earthquakes, so he just...
Yeah, so he wouldn't stay higher in the penthouse.
Yeah.
He just took a suite. It was still a suite, but a corner suite, which he knew that they built. If you watch earthquakes, the corners are stronger, when they build buildings. I mean, he was really into that part. But
That's interesting.
But again, after knowing him and being raised by him from that point, he don't go on that balcony. So for him to just be out there that moment and say, and then speak,
Yeah.
and it be 2 blocks away, and at the moment we decided to go, after me saying, we need God.
Yeah,
And
you guys
Scott,
are
I'll
praying.
tell you, he laughed. He invited us in. He was very welcoming. He gave me my name that day. What's your name? I said, Jaye. He said, Big J.
Yeah.
And
It's stuck. It's
the
stuck.
whole
It's stuck.
world knows me as that. The world that does.
Yeah.
And from that moment, the day after that, he called us. He said, where are you staying? And we told him where. And we said, but we're going to move to this other place because, this place is too much money. And he said, well, I'll just move you into a room here at the Hyatt. And so he moved us there.
It's you and a couple other guys?
Yeah, 3
You
of
and
us.
Swift.
Me,
'cause Swift's been on the show.
Swift, and Scott.
Is
And
this
so-
Scott Yates?
No, not that Scott.
That's the only Scott I
Yeah,
know.
no, this is Scott Green. He's a good
Nice.
buddy of ours from Tennessee, one of my best friends. And so 2 days later, we're riding. Little Richard said, would you like to go with me on some errands? He's sure, yeah. Meet me on the mezzanine. And I had never heard that word before, but I've learned it quite well since. So we met him on the mezzanine floor. And so we're sitting in his limousine waiting. He comes down, and we go down that same street 3 days before that we walked. Only this time we're in one of those limousines that I said we got to take this to God. Now we're in one of those limousines that I was talking about. And he's pointing out the houses. That's Dionne Warwick's. That's Prince. That's Michael Jackson. That's, and we're on our way to the bank. And he did his bank errands. And years and years and years after that, I would take that ride and I would get my check from him. It became a way of life. But just to show you the strength of God, it's amazing, which is why, when he called me last night, like I told you before we started, to talk about some personal issues, it's always God. And I learned, and I wish I could bottle it up and sell it or just give it to people because it would take their faith. God doesn't work without faith. But I'll say this to anybody. The only thing he cannot do is he cannot not be God. Other than that, everything else. He just can't not be who he is. That part is already done. He is God. Everything else is possible, man.
That's amazing.
I went to number one.
Let's talk about that.
Independent.
Yeah, look, we got a picture of you right there with him.
That's me. That's Pops, Little Richard.
Who's that? Right
Uncle
there.
Chuck Berry.
Wow, that's Chuck Berry.
Yeah. Uncle B.B. King.
Oh
and,
my
and
gosh.
that's the tour manager for Little Richard for as long as I was there and before. Wayne Chaney is a great musician, and actually he's going to tour with me. And when I start the tour up, he's going to tour. He's a great singer and percussionist and trumpet player. But, I'm one of the only people alive that have toured with Little Richard, Chuck Berry, B.B. King, James Brown. And when you think about these guys started rock and roll, on my phone, I just spoke about Little Richard. That's pretty impressive. Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
John Fogerty, Tooth Grinder. Will is pretty cool. The drummer, me and him talk.
That is impressive.
Yeah. But those gentlemen that I just named, on my phone is Little Richard, Bones from Stuck Mojo,
absolutely.
and Dave Mustaine. I can call those three people, and I'm not name dropping. I'm saying that I'm going somewhere with these people, so just stick with me. I, as a human being, am the only person, and these three men started something. Little Richard, Chuck Berry, they started rock and roll. They were there from the beginning. I saw a Buddy Holly movie, and he was saying to his family, how can it be jungle music if I wrote it? If it came from me, because it was in the beginning, in music and kind of like rap. It started with blacks. I like where it went. I'll be honest about that part. I loved where it went because it's kind of like what Jennifer Lopez did the other night for Motown. I love it. It's supposed to do that. It's music.
Yeah.
It's not to be confined and hoarded. But I'm the only person that can say the person that started rock and roll or had something to do with it, the person that started heavy metal, which Dave gave me a great story about that. I wanted to think of something heavier and harder than rock. What's harder than rock? Metal. That's how you break rock with, metal. So that's why we said heavy metal. When they came up with the word after rock, this is going to be harder than rock. Him and the guys with Metallica, Dave Mustaine was the original member. And he's a buddy of mine. And when he was explaining that story, anyway, him. And then Bones, rap metal. Not Fred Durst, not the guys who got all the way to the plateau, which is fine. Like I said, again, that's beautiful. But creators. I'm very into creators. My creator, which is what I said took me in Hollywood. Let's talk to the guy that makes all this. So I know I'm the only person alive. Only person. And there's 7 billion of us running around on this rock as we float through outer space. But I'm the only one that can talk to the three creators of the music that we listen to, and knew and toured with James Brown. So now that covers funk, and B.B. King, King of Blues, that covered blues,
Yeah.
and all these people were in my life, on a personal level, and so I call myself the apprentice of rock and roll, because I don't think I'll ever be a master. I'm always too busy learning. So I'm in a constant state of education, of learning and growing. But, I don't say that with pride. I say that very humbly and gratefully that, that's who I am if I leave here tomorrow. That was what I did with my time here, was I connected. All those men, how could they connect to one person, and shake hands, break bread, talk, grow, experience this experience.
When you have, like, when they give you that opportunity, when they invite you in, do you have that same, when you see younger bands now, do you kind of give your advice and kind of welcome, keep it going, generation after generation?
I do it in a very organic way. I don't feel like, hey, you know who I am, you should come here and listen.
Right.
No.
But you give your advice and kind of help?
If it's sought, because you can't give pearls to the swine, So if someone wants or asks, I'll give everything I can. I'll help. I'll make a call for you. I'll do whatever I can for the next man. It doesn't matter what's your genre. Like I said, I told that kid, hey man, you just need to check out Bones. And,
Yes.
It's about the culture. You should know about Bones. You're rapping in metal and you're good at it. You've been doing it 10 years, and you haven't heard of Bones from Stuck Mojo.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's good what you're doing, because that way...
what are the people around you? I know who these people are. They haven't said it. That nobody's ever told. He was like, wow, nobody, they're taking you on tour and they haven't said, man, you remind me of Bones. Just what's wrong with that? I mean, it's not that it's a wrong thing. It's just about where's the sharing, where's the love, where's the keep it going thing. That's what these guys did. I mean, we all stand on the shoulders of giants, and then some of us just stand on the shoulders of strong men. You don't have to be a giant, just we're all a spoke in the wheel, we're all necessary. I love what you're doing right here.
Thank you.
I need to give a shout out right now to the newest members of Poetry Thief, Mr. Kenny Poole, call him KP, my new drummer. He's a lifetime member of the Comets.
Oh.
Yeah, Bill Haley and Comets.
Yeah.
But he's not an old guy. He's our age, but he was just a protege. And his father, Kenny Poole Sr., was, a legendary musician. Google him if you like. But Kenny Poole Jr., KP, is my new drummer. Met him through Bones. I'm bringing back my original bass player, Jose Rodriguez, one of the greatest bass players. He was taught by Victor Wooten from Bella Fleck.
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, Victor Wooten, one of the greatest bassists. His brother's Music Man. He created an instrument.
They were
twins. Yeah, they were twins. Yeah. So Victor Wooten taught Jose, and Jose wrote he was the first person of my first band after I saw Stuck Mojo. I said, I could do this. I didn't know. I was just performing with Little Richard. I didn't know I could still do my own thing, And so it was so powerful when I saw Stuck Mojo. And so Bones introduced me to Jose. And then we kind of went separate ways, which happens with young bands. And unless you're special like Seven Dust, been together 30 years, and then people wonder why they're the best live band you could see. I mean,
They're amazing.
The stay together part, makes you great right there.
I love when you keep bringing up Bones. I love Bones because when I started this show, he
Yes.
took a chance on me. You know, having a big name like him really helped this show kind of get some ground. You know,
Right. I mean, he is who he is. He's
So
godfather of rap metal, and one of my greatest friends. You know what I mean? One of my greatest friends, and that's why I give him his kudos, because were it not for him, I would have never branched off from Little Richard when I did and how I did, and he made some phone calls, and at one time his manager Mark Willis was also my manager. You know, I didn't know much about. I mean, being with Little Richard, you know, is always surreal. I mean, you're in the stratosphere, bro. I mean, so when you talk to not to say commoners, but you know what I mean. You leave
Yeah.
the royal court and you go out where real people live. You kind of sometimes don't have that balance of understanding the means of their ways, and so I think I had a lot of lost opportunities for that reason. But then I learned that, you know, everybody's important. Everybody's don't have to be MC Hammer and Whitney Houston and all these people to really be powerful, movers and shakers, talented, innovative, you know,
Yeah.
and important. I mean, now Morgan Rose, when he played drums for me, he wasn't, but now he's a Grammy-nominated artist.
so he, yeah.
Yeah, you know, Troy McLaughlin played guitar on the record.
Yeah.
You know, when he played, I said, Troy, you're going to be blessed for doing this. And before the week was out, he got the call to be in Seether. He said, you scary, bro. You're scary. I said, hey, man, I'm just telling you, you know, I do everything through God. I prayed for you. I prayed before
Thank
I called
you.
Corey. Yeah. And, you know, when I saw Bones do your show, I prayed for it. I said,
Wow.
I prayed that one day, and I didn't have a number one yet, but I prayed that one day I would have enough reason to sit down and do the same thing, you know, and to go to number one. It's on all access music group.
Yeah,
But
look, we got
I
this
mean,
too
but,
right here. See?
Yeah,
All
I mean,
access.
I brought Scott. You got receipts.
Yeah, man.
We got
look at-
receipts, man. This ain't for play.
Look, yeah, look,
That's
Papa Roach down there,
Papa Roach,
Metallica.
Metallica, under me,
Dead Set Sign, yeah.
underneath me.
Wow.
And you know what? The only person that reached out to me was James Hatfield.
Oh, wow.
James Hatfield said, hey, man, congratulations. I don't even know him. But that just goes to show you, you know,
Yeah.
I don't even know him. But he reached out to me on Instagram, DM'd me and said, hey, bro, I see you. Congratulations.
We should have screenshot that and put it up there. That needs to be like the poster.
Yeah, the DMs. But, you know,
Seems like you have the
I
right
thought
people.
I thought more of the people that I knew would reach out. And I'm not being shady.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm a very honest person, I love everybody. But I was like, you know, finally, you know, something good happened. Maybe, you know, somebody will call or somebody will say, hey, Jay, yeah. But it was James Hatfield. It was people I didn't know, Willis from Tooth Grinder. These people that I actually beat on the charts, you know, but they're playing at that level that I know about, like Little Richard, where there's not really too much time for animosity. You know, it's about, you know, if you can do that, do that. I mean, because these guys have machines behind them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm independent. You know, I had my manager John Coons. I had his wife Gigi, fiance Gigi. I had Angela Maccabee doing my PR and radio campaign. I made 1 million calls to radio stations, but the song was good. And if I could say anything, this business was, and always will be about a song, a great song. You don't have that, and you're not going to connect. I don't care what you do. You know, you have to. It's about good music.
Yeah, that's wise.
Yeah, so in 2000, I was brought up, picked by ASCAP as one of 25 of the greatest future songwriters in America. And for 6 weekends, I had to go to Nashville to the ASCAP building for 4 hours and meet in a symposium with these from all over the country, songwriters. People was like, yeah, I did this at David Foster's. I didn't know who David Foster was. It didn't,
Yeah.
but silly me. And so and we met with the number one club. And the number one club is Gamble and Huff. Dennis Mikowski, who wrote Maniac.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody that write constant number ones, they have in Nashville called the number one club. And so they would meet with us.
Dennis Morgan probably up there too
Yeah,
for a lot
yeah.
of country hits.
Yeah. And so, and then I found out why Nashville is called the music capital of the world. Because 90% of the songs come from there. I don't care what kind
Yeah.
of song it is, except for rap. And that's why those guys have so much money, because they're songwriters. So if the song happens, they wrote it. But a lot of other people, mostly, they depended upon Nashville for material.
When you
I'm
wrote,
sorry, this is much
no,
about me.
no, you're great. When you're talking about writing songs, "Wings of My Soul," you have a video for.
Yeah.
What's it like writing that song? I mean, you wrote that song, right?
Yes, I did. Me and Corey Lowry. Corey said, Jay, 2 things we're gonna do if I'm to work with you. You're gonna have to. I was in a band called Sexy Circus at the time.
That's a great band name. Sexy Circus.
Sexy Circus. Yeah, that was when I first left Little Richard. I went to Europe for 8 months. It was the only way to get away from Pops. His reach was far long, and I said, well, I'm gonna just leave America to get away from, to leave his band. And so Sexy Circus was the band, and I went to Europe for 8 months. Me and Swift, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, Corey said, you're gonna have to leave that whole Sexy Circus thing, because it was a party band. Let me tell you, we did Ted Turner parties, billionaire parties. Did his Christmas party 4 years in a row. I mean, with Jane Fonda and, just...
Man, they need to film that.
I mean, yeah, and then we would play with B-52s, Morris Day and the Time, Hootie and the Blowfish. I mean, and Sexy Circus, because we were bad boys around. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's really cool.
Catholic girls gone wild kind of thing. And so that was, so he said, leave that behind. And I was like, okay. He said, who are you? What's your message to the world? If you could say anything, what do you have to say for you? And so Wings of My Soul was the song saying, okay, I'm leaving all this comfort, all the comfort of everything I've known before. And now I'm gonna go find myself. So if you listen to the lyrics, it says, on the wings of my soul, a whole world away from my home. On the wings of my soul, I'm coming home. So I'm a world away from my comfort, but I'm comfortably going to where I belong. And I'm only going with my soul, on the wings of my soul. Just the pure essence of each and every one of us. There's a soul inside. Mm-hmm. This is just the vessel. But what's that spirit inside? What are you good? Are you bad? Are you Mm-hmm. And so that is what this song was about. And I think that's why it connected so well, other than the great music. Like I said, Corey, Morgan Rose, Troy McLaughlin, and Rusty Cobb. Mm-hmm. Not Wallace, Clint, Lowry, Rusty Wallace. That's NASCAR. I love NASCAR, so I know. But that was funny. Yeah, when he said Rusty Wallace. But
that's funny. That's good.
Yeah. But Rusty Cobb, who again was my first producer, of my first record way back at Lynn's Wet Basement Studios. But he had grown up and became, he was doing platinum bowling for Soup, Avril Lavigne, Pink. He had become this other guy himself. and I played it for him when me and Corey were done with it. And he was like, Jay, I want to take this song and I want to make it where if you want to take it to #1, it can go. He said, it is a great song, but there's something called recording artists. You know, and most people don't get that. That you go in the studio and you record a song and you've made a song. But is it a record? A record, that's why they have Record of the Year. Because you become a recording artist and then there's a whole nother art form.
Wow, yeah, that's interesting.
That's
yeah.
a whole nother thing than just you went in the
Thanks.
studio and you laid a song down. No, it becomes, and everything on the radio was done by recording artists. Because either a producer or either that person had learned enough to, like Prince and Stevie, that could go in there by themselves and do it. But it's still the art of recording.
Yeah.
And you become a recording artist. So it was my first real record.
And you wrote the lyrics too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's important.
And I performed them.
Performed, man.
Yeah. So.
Corey's a great guy.
Oh my
For the
God.
record.
Oh my
he
God. Without
definitely
him, it
helped
would
my
have
show.
never happened.
Yeah.
It would have never happened.
He's a helper. He
He's
helped
the only,
me.
he's the
helped
only
you.
person who can make the call and people
Yeah.
react. But again, I was taking Morgan home after his session and he said, Jay, I just came off the road. And I swear, brother, if it wasn't you, I would have never done it. My wife, at the time, he was married to Carrie, and he was like, I've been gone for, 30-something days. There ain't no way I could have, go to say, I've got a session to do. And he said, but I kept saying, honey, you don't understand. This is Big J. You know what I mean? I got to, just let me knock this out for this guy. This guy he's special. He's different. And she allowed it. And and so that magic, the magic of everybody. But Wings of My Soul, it's a very catchy song. 89 countries are playing it. Went #1 in Australia, #6 on the independent charts in England. It's been played in Brazil. I don't speak Portuguese. I've been there 3 times, so I'm sure I don't.
What's you got this new people in your band and everything.
Yeah.
What's the future for Poetry Thieves? Are you guys about to record again?
Yes, we're definitely gonna. But before we do, I'm gonna release the next song, which is called "Everything's Gonna Be Alright."
Oh, that's a great song. You sent that to me.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I love
So
the
you-
intro part. Everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Picture Perfect's a good song too. On there.
You like that
Yeah,
one?
I like that one too. Both those songs, yeah.
Yeah. So everything
Everything you do
gonna
is-
be all right.
is
Thank you,
catchy.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, that was that lesson from 6 weeks in Nashville. They taught us how to write a great song, and what are the tenets and what are the ingredients and formulas, because there is a way to do it, a right way and a wrong way. Now, don't get me wrong, something could catch on, you know what I mean? Who let the dogs out, whatever. But not putting that down because they still had to be
It's hard.
recording
It's hard to
artists.
figure out a hit like that.
Yeah. But there is a formula to writing songs, and that's why Smokey Robinson been writing hits since Smoke Signals. He wrote "My Girl and My Guy." I said, "Damn, you had to take both of them. You wrote "My Girl" and "My Guy." One was the same cat. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, there's
funny.
there's a method to the madness.
Do you ever think about writing for other people?
That's what I was on the way out here, Scott. I was saying that's the one thing I haven't done yet. And it's not because I'm selfish or wouldn't do that. It's just that
Some people do that though. They write a good song like, "Why do I want to give this away when I keep it for myself?"
Yeah, and my wife has always said you should write for other people, and that was the whole thing in Nashville. They offered me a publishing deal, but I had that itch to scratch of touring, and they said, we hate people like you that can, because everybody had to play a song in class, and I played my song, and I was waiting. I wanted critique. I wanted it.
Yeah.
I wanted them to tell me what I was missing, and I swear on my daughter's life, man, those people just applauded and said, now is how you write a song. I'm like, that was such a wah-wah for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man, give me something. Come on, because they were saying little things like, yeah, you should have went to a F major right there, and you would have got it at 3 minutes and 2 seconds if you'd have
That's
just.
huge.
And,
Yeah,
and
it's
they,
huge.
they said this is a perfectly written song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who wrote that? I did. Who sang it? I did. We hate you. We hate people that can do those two things. So Dennis Mikowski said, Jay, if you ever want to just be a songwriter, work 14 hours a day, have 3-hour lunches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give me a call. I'll put you on my writing team in Nashville. And but so I was offered a publishing to be a writer then.
That's huge.
And so I'm gonna do that, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write for other people.
I got friends that travel to Nashville just to write for
Just
other
to
people.
write, yeah.
Just hoping. you
Yeah,
know.
hoping.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. You know, Little Richard lives in Nashville now. He has for
Oh,
the
nice.
last 15 years. So I have been going there for that reason. I've been to Nashville more lately than ever in my life, you know, just seeing Pops. And so, yeah, I think I will.
You
I
should.
Yeah, I think. But we're about to tour, man.
Yeah. What's up with the future with Poetry Thieves?
Poetry Thieves, let's get down to business. Poetry Thieves, we're about to do the new campaign. The video was done by Jim Daughtry, who had never done a music video before. He directed it, but his IMDb is just long. He's over 60 credits, movies, films. He did Chicago PD, House of Cards. I mean, you know, this guy's
Yeah.
just a television and independent movie legend. But I thought about Michael Jackson and how he did Thriller and how he got John Landis.
Oh yeah, the director.
You know,
yeah.
and
yeah.
so I'm always trying to, you know, that's what Poetry Thieves mean, is I take from the better people or others, like going to the Apollo and seeing somebody great and stealing some of a little bit of Jackie Wilson or whatever,
Yeah.
like Michael did. And yeah. So I said, Michael Jackson used the movie director to do his music video. And I said, I want to do the same thing. And I found Jim and I said, I don't mean Thriller. I just mean I want to do it more like a movie
Yeah.
than a music video. And so he delivered on that, and my video was entered into, accepted, into a film festival. But it wasn't a music category. There was no music category. It was there for the cinematography.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so, you know, those little things.
Yeah.
And little things like he shot the video, but he shot it 17 different angles.
Oh.
That's only like 3 or 4 scenes in the video, but 17 different angles. He shot those 3, you know, scenes, and that was kind of one of the things
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, and Don LeMay, who produced it, she made sure everything was running on clock.
Yeah, you guys had everything combined in that video. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had- I mean, it was on a plane.
Yeah.
A lady driving it with their hair
Hair,
kind of
yeah,
flowing,
just-
fire.
Yeah,
You had
fire,
every cool thing.
All combined.
You had
And
the
that
credits at the end.
Yeah, and that was because I chose to use a movie director instead of a music video director who thought of it like a movie.
Now you got to do another one for Everything's Gonna Be All Right.
Which is going to be even better because he's done about 50 music videos after he did this one.
Oh, okay.
And showed it to people. They were like, can you do me? Can you do me? So now he's a music video director anyway. We're going to use that now.
That's good.
Yeah, and now you're ready to do a music video because you're a music video director and you do film. And so we're gonna do something really, I don't want to talk about it, but it's gonna be, again, a stretch, a reach, creativity, and trying to be better at than myself. You know, trying to push myself is always the point. But yeah, I'm gonna take my band in the studio. We're gonna do an EP to follow up behind these songs. That's not gonna be easy because I had such great talent. But I realized I did a short run, in Florida, and I had some great musicians, and they were playing the songs exactly like the record, and but it wasn't, the musicality wasn't there. You know, the jam part. You know what I mean? That magical. It
Yeah,
didn't
the
need
chemistry.
to sound just like the record.
Yeah.
It needed to just be the song, and I had to learn that also. I take just as much blame as I'm willing to pass along. But yeah, so the new lineup, you know, I think makes that adjustment. I'm going to keep my guitarist tenor Tobias because he's young and moldable, and he's open-minded. He'll adapt to anything. Some people, when you get old, you go, "This is who I am," and that's okay. You know, you just got to find who you are works. You know.
Well, I can't wait to hear this the new lineup and everything. When can
Yeah.
people see you guys play out? I mean, you have a tour lined up or anything, or?
We're accepting dates. We just I don't like to announce them until it's signed,
Yeah.
and you know, because I just believe that spirits will try to hinder your dreams. You know, so I don't like to say something's going to happen until it's like the video thing is going to happen because I've already signed, and but we're going to tour. I will say this, Scott. We're going to Australia because the song went #1 there.
Wow.
We're going to England, and then we're going to play all over America in spotted dates. I'm not one of those guys that get in the van and just do a run, you know, and play for 5 people. Not that
Yeah,
matters.
no.
But
You're gonna go
I
to
just
where
don't
your
have
audience
time.
is.
I don't have the time.
Yeah.
You know, to be away from my family to play for 5 people. I'd rather build it up and let that same 5 people meet another, you know, 200 or 300, or either be at a festival, or you know, because I can do that. I know how to do that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do. I've been talking to Macy Gray.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. So I'll do one name drop. Yeah, Macy Gray.
She's cool.
And I've been talking to
She's
Will.
big. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know all these people.
Yeah, and Tooth Grinder gave me their booking agent and said, "Tell them Willis drummer said, tell them that I said put you on the list." You know, so you know we're working it. You know.
How can people find Poetry Thieves right now?
Oh, you can go to Facebook. You can go to Poetry Thieves. We're Instagram, all the social media, and www.poetrythievesband.com. I don't, you know, websites kind of got
Yeah, they're kind of
got played out, you know.
Social
So you go to
media.
my Facebook. Go to Poetry Thieves Facebook.
yeah, or YouTube too.
Yeah, or YouTube. Yeah, and
watch a
see
video
the
there.
videos, and you're gonna see a lot of cool stuff coming on the YouTube station, because we just got connected with this network, a new network, and so a lot of really great things. I gotta give a shout out to my brother, comedian actor Casper Nelson, who's just he's my rock. You know, we fight and we laugh and we play. He stole my derby and used it last night on stage up in Indianapolis, and then posted it on Instagram this morning. I was like, man, you knew derby. You know I was doing derby today. You know what I mean?
Can't do derby.
Yeah, you didn't take my derby and do it first. Dirty dog. But that's my brother. He did Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, cool.
One a big scene, and he just well, I don't want to jade it, but you know, I think because he's part of the CBS family now, he's probably gonna get that thing swat, and so I'm gonna put it out there, Casper. You're gonna get it, but yeah.
Jaye Nelson.
Thank you.
Thank
man.
you being here, brother.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
And
It's
if
awesome.
I forgot anybody name of my wife, I love you, Dane, and my kids. Yeah, Daddy love y'all, of course. And if I forgot anybody, Little Richard, thank you so much, man. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. And I love everybody, and keep your dreams alive. Yeah, keep on rocking.